Have you ever felt that little twinge, maybe in your back or your hip, and immediately thought, oh no, is this another sign of things slowing down? We all know how important it is to keep our bodies strong as we get a little older, especially our bones. We hear so much about getting enough calcium, maybe taking a supplement, or doing weight-bearing exercise, and that's all good advice. But what if something you think is incredibly healthy, something green and leafy that you've been told your whole life is a nutritional powerhouse, might actually be making your bones a little less strong? It's a surprising thought, isn't it? We put so much trust in certain foods, especially vegetables, believing they're universally good for us. And often, they are. But our bodies change as we age, and the way we absorb and use nutrients shifts. What worked perfectly in our 30s or 40s might not be the absolute best strategy in our 60s, 70s, and beyond. Falling, even a simple one, can have devastating consequences when bones are fragile. The painful reality is that bone fractures can severely impact our independence and quality of life. There's a quiet culprit hiding in plain sight. A very popular leafy green that contains compounds that can make it harder for your body to actually absorb the bone-building minerals it needs. Don't panic, though. This isn't about banning a food forever. It's about understanding how it works and, more importantly, knowing what to eat instead or alongside it to truly nourish your bones. In this video, we're going to uncover which leafy green might be less helpful than you thought when it comes to bone strength, and, more excitingly, we'll explore some delicious and simple foods you should be eating regularly that are genuine powerhouses for keeping your bones dense and resilient. These aren't complicated, expensive ingredients, just everyday foods you can easily add to your diet. Watch to the end for something that will surprise you and make you rethink how you look at your plate. So, let's talk about calcium. It's the superstar nutrient when it comes to bones. Right. Everyone knows we need calcium, but simply eating calcium isn't enough. Your body also has to be able to absorb and use it effectively. And that's where things get interesting, especially with our mystery leafy green. This particular green, which many of us love to add to salads, smoothies, or cook into dishes, contains natural compounds called oxalates. Now, oxalates are found in lots of plants, and in small amounts. They're usually not a big deal for most people. But in high oxalate foods, these compounds can bind to calcium in your digestive system, forming crystals that your body can't absorb. Essentially, the calcium you thought you were getting from that meal or that green might just be passing right through you. The leafy green I'm talking about, the one that's a high oxalate offender, is spinach. Yes, humble spinach. It's packed with vitamins and iron, and in many ways, it is incredibly healthy. It even contains calcium and vitamin K, both good for bones. But, and this is the crucial part, the calcium it contains is less bioavailable, meaning less easily absorbed by your body, because of the high oxalate content. If you're relying on spinach as a primary source of calcium, thinking you're doing your bones a huge favor, you might not be getting as much benefit as you think. This becomes especially important as we age. Our ability to absorb calcium naturally decreases over time. So, if we're consuming a food that further hinders that absorption, it can be counterproductive to our bone health goals. This doesn't mean you can never eat spinach. Cooked spinach has slightly lower oxalate levels than raw, and balancing it with high calcium. Low oxalate foods is key, but if you're eating large spinach salads every day, or adding handfuls to smoothies as your main calcium strategy, it might be worth reconsidering. So, what should you be eating instead? Or perhaps, what should you be prioritizing alongside your occasional spinach consumption to make sure your bones are getting the support they need? Let's start with some true calcium champions. Foods where the calcium is easily available for your body to grab onto. First up, and often the most obvious, are dairy products. Milk, yogurt, and cheese are classic sources of easily absorbed calcium. A glass of milk, a pot of yogurt, or a slice of cheese can provide a significant portion of your daily calcium needs. Beyond calcium, many dairy products, especially milk and some yogurts, are fortified with vitamin D, which is absolutely essential for calcium absorption. You can eat all the calcium in the world, but without enough vitamin D, your body struggles to pull it from your gut into your bloodstream and then incorporate it into your bones. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Dairy doesn't agree with me, or I prefer not to eat dairy. And that's perfectly fine. The world of nutrition has evolved so much, and there are fantastic non-dairy alternatives that are heavily fortified with both calcium and vitamin D to match or even exceed the levels found in dairy milk. Look for almond milk, soy milk, oat milk, or rice milk that specifically state they are fortified with calcium and vitamin D on the carton. Just give the carton a good shake before pouring, as the calcium can sometimes settle at the bottom. Yogurt is another wonderful option. The live and active cultures in yogurt can also be beneficial for gut health, which indirectly supports overall nutrient absorption. Choose plain yogurt to avoid excess sugar, and you can add your own fruit for sweetness and added vitamins. A small pot of yogurt makes a great snack or part of breakfast. Hard cheeses like cheddar or Parmesan are also concentrated sources of calcium. A little sprinkle of Parmesan on your pasta, or a small cube of cheddar with an apple can boost your intake. The key with dairy, or fortified alternatives, is consistency. Try to include a source of calcium with a few meals or snacks throughout the day, rather than trying to cram it all in at once. Your body can only absorb a certain amount of calcium at a time. Spreading it out is more effective. Think about a yogurt at breakfast, a slice of cheese with lunch, or milk dairy or fortified plant-based with your dinner or as a bedtime drink. These simple habits add up significantly over time and provide readily available calcium that your body doesn't have to fight oxalates or other inhibitors to get. This direct access to calcium is a stark contrast to the challenges presented by high oxalate foods like spinach when it comes to mineral absorption. So, while spinach has its merits, actively choosing dairy or fortified alternatives ensures you're giving your bones the most bioavailable calcium boost possible, directly countering any potential limitations from less than ideal sources and building a stronger foundation. Beyond dairy and fortified alternatives, let's explore another crucial area for bone health: getting enough vitamin D from other sources, particularly fatty fish. Vitamin D, often called the sunshine vitamin because our skin can produce it when exposed to sunlight, is absolutely vital for calcium absorption. Without enough vitamin D, calcium absorption from your diet plummets. As we get older, our skin becomes less efficient at producing vitamin D, and many of us spend less time outdoors, especially in climates with long winters. This makes dietary sources and potentially supplements incredibly important. Fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, sardines, and herring are some of the best natural food sources of vitamin D. Including these in your diet a couple of times a week can make a real difference. For example, a serving of cooked salmon can provide a substantial amount of vitamin D. Sardines, while perhaps not everyone's favorite, are nutritional powerhouses, eaten with the bones. They also provide a good amount of calcium. Canned sardines are convenient and can be added to salads, mashed with avocado for a spread, or eaten on crackers. Mackerel is another oily fish that's both affordable and packed with vitamin D and healthy omega-3 fatty acids, which are also thought to play a role in bone health and reducing inflammation. If you're not a fan of fish, or don't eat it regularly, other foods are often fortified with vitamin D. Remember those fortified milks we talked about? They're a great source. Some orange juices, cereals, and even some types of yogurt and margarine are also fortified. Check the nutrition labels to be sure. Relying solely on sunlight for vitamin D becomes less reliable as we age, and depending on where you live and the time of year. Making a conscious effort to include vitamin D-rich foods, especially fatty fish, is a proactive step for your bone health. It ensures that the calcium you're taking in, particularly from those easy-to-absorb sources like dairy or fortified foods, actually makes it to your bones where it's needed. Now, let's circle back to leafy greens, but this time, let's focus on the ones that are great for your bones, offering calcium without the high oxalate issue of spinach, and also providing vitamin K, another critical nutrient for bone health. Vitamin K plays a key role in bone metabolism. It helps your body make proteins that are essential for bone formation and strength. While vitamin K is abundant in many leafy greens, choosing lower oxalate options gives you the benefit of both the vitamin K and more readily available calcium. Kale is a fantastic example. It's packed with vitamin K and also contains a decent amount of calcium that is much more absorbable than the calcium in spinach. Unlike spinach, kale's oxalate content is relatively low. You can massage raw kale for salads to make it more tender, or easily add it to soups, stews, or sauté it. Collard greens and turnip greens are other excellent choices. They are traditional southern greens that are rich in both calcium and vitamin K, and are also low in oxalates. Cooking them properly brings out their flavor and makes them tender. Broccoli isn't a leafy green, but it's a cruciferous vegetable that deserves a mention here too. It contains calcium and vitamin K, along with vitamin C, which is important for collagen production, a key component of bone structure. Eating a variety of these lower oxalate green and cruciferous vegetables ensures you're getting a spectrum of nutrients that work together to support bone density and strength. It's not just about calcium. It's about the whole team of vitamins and minerals that help build and maintain healthy bones. Think of these foods, dairy or fortified alternatives, fatty fish, and lower oxalate greens like kale and collards as your bone-building dream team. By incorporating them regularly into your meals, you're actively choosing foods that provide the calcium your body can easily use, the vitamin D to help absorb it, and the vitamin K to help integrate it into your bone structure. This is a much more effective strategy for long-term bone health than relying on foods like spinach, where the calcium is locked up by oxalates. It's about making smart swaps and additions to your plate that truly nourish your body and support your goal of staying strong and active as you age. So, we've talked about the potential pitfalls of relying too heavily on that popular high oxalate leafy green, spinach, for your calcium needs because of how it can hinder absorption. And we've started exploring some true bone-building champions like dairy or fortified alternatives, fatty fish for vitamin D, and lower oxalate greens like kale and collards. But there are even more simple yet powerful foods you can add to your diet to give your bones the best chance of staying strong and resilient. Let's keep building our list of bone allies. Nuts and seeds are often overlooked, but they can be wonderful additions to a bone-healthy diet. Almonds, for instance, contain calcium and magnesium, another mineral crucial for bone health. Just a small handful as a snack provides a nice boost. Sesame seeds are surprisingly high in calcium, especially if you use the unhulled kind. You can sprinkle them on salads, stir fries, or use tahini sesame paste in dressings and dips like hummus. Chia seeds and flax seeds provide healthy fats and some minerals that support overall health, including bone health. You can easily add them to yogurt, smoothies, or oatmeal. Pumpkin seeds are a good source of magnesium and zinc, both involved in bone metabolism. Many people don't realize that beans and legumes also contribute to bone health. While they aren't as concentrated in calcium as dairy, they provide magnesium, potassium, and fiber. Some types, like white beans and edamame, offer a decent amount of calcium. Incorporating a variety of beans into soups, stews, or salads is a tasty way to add valuable nutrients. Even some fruits play a role. Oranges are known for vitamin C, which is essential for making collagen, the protein framework of bones. Some orange juice is also fortified with calcium and vitamin D, just like milks. Dried figs are surprisingly rich in calcium. A few dried figs can be a sweet treat that also benefits your bones. The key takeaway here isn't just about piling your plate with one or two specific foods. It's about creating a balanced diet rich in a variety of nutrient-dense foods that support bone health from multiple angles. It's about getting easily absorbed calcium, the vitamin D to help your body use it, the vitamin K to integrate it into bone structure, and the magnesium and other minerals that provide the necessary building blocks. Let's quickly touch on the idea of fortification again. Many common foods are fortified with calcium and vitamin D because these nutrients are so important and can sometimes be hard to get enough of from natural sources alone, especially if you have dietary restrictions. Beyond milk and orange juice, you might find them added to some cereals, breads, and plant-based yogurts. Taking a moment to check the nutrition labels when you're grocery shopping can help you identify these fortified options and make choices that support your bone health without extra effort. It's a simple way to sneak in those crucial nutrients throughout your day. Now, while diet is a cornerstone of bone health, it works best when combined with other healthy habits. Weight-bearing exercise, like walking, jogging, dancing, or lifting light weights, is essential. It puts gentle stress on your bones, which signals them to become stronger and denser. Even just regular walking makes a difference. Finding an activity you enjoy and sticking with it is key. Avoiding smoking and limiting alcohol intake are also important for bone health, as these habits can interfere with calcium absorption and bone formation. And lastly, if you have concerns about your bone density or nutrient intake, talking to your doctor is always a good idea. They can assess your individual needs, potentially recommend a bone density test, or suggest supplements if necessary. Supplements shouldn't replace a healthy diet, but they can be helpful for filling nutritional gaps. So, while that one popular leafy green, spinach, might have its limitations when it comes to calcium availability due to oxalates, it's not the end of the world. The important thing is recognizing this and actively choosing other foods that are powerful allies for your bones. It's about making informed choices and empowering yourself through your diet. It's about prioritizing dairy or fortified alternatives, enjoying fatty fish, embracing lower oxalate greens and other vegetables, and incorporating nuts, seeds, and even certain fruits and beans. These aren't drastic changes. They are simple, practical adjustments that can have a profound impact on your skeletal strength over time. To wrap things up, remember that building and maintaining strong bones is a lifelong process, and it becomes even more important as we get older. We've seen how easily absorbed calcium from sources like dairy or fortified plant milks, the crucial role of vitamin D found in fatty fish and fortified foods, and the bone-supporting power of vitamin K and other minerals in lower oxalate greens, nuts, and seeds all work together. It's about shifting our focus slightly from foods that contain calcium but make it hard to absorb, like high oxalate spinach, to foods where that calcium is readily available and paired with other essential bone-building nutrients. Think of it as giving your body the easiest possible path to getting the nutrients it needs to keep your framework strong and sturdy. It's not about perfection, but about making conscious, positive choices most of the time. Adding a serving of yogurt or fortified milk to your day, swapping spinach for kale in a soup, trying sardines on crackers, or sprinkling sesame seeds on your stir-fry. These small, consistent actions are what truly make a difference. Don't let the fear of fragile bones hold you back. You have the power to influence your bone health through the simple act of choosing what you eat. Embrace the delicious variety of foods that genuinely nourish your bones and support your active lifestyle. Remember, small changes can make a big difference to your health and happiness. We're all in this together, figuring out the best ways to live vibrantly at every age. What are your favorite bone-healthy foods? Are there any foods you were surprised to learn about today? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. I love hearing from you and learning from your journey. If you found this video helpful and empowering, please give it a thumbs up. It helps more people see it. And if you haven't already, Subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos packed with practical tips and positive encouragement for living your best life. Thank you for spending this time with me. Keep nourishing your wonderful body. Keep moving. And keep embracing the journey. Live your best life at every age.